Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from Apple Valley. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
How you doing? Thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk about banks today, about some bank failures. And it was really surprising, the research that we did. I mean, you're going to be totally surprised. And we got the information from the FDIC, so it must be true, right?
Well,
it's on the internet.
Why would they put out false information, especially when it's bad?
Right. Not
Some
the
of this
FDIC.
is pretty bad, alarming.
Alarming, yeah. So federal regulator, this is what caused me to look into this. Federal regulators seized Republic First Bank last Friday, or a couple Fridays ago, April 26. It was closed by Pennsylvania's bank regulators, and the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, took control of all operations. The that's what happens. That's the FDIC. If they're going to back up these banks, that's what they're going to do. They're going to come in if they're floundering. They're going to take the operations until a new bank can buy all the assets and stand it back up. And we'll talk about that later too. The FDIC was quickly able to arrange for Fulton Bank to purchase Republic First assets. To provide some perspective, here's where the research takes a Twilight Zone turn. According to the FDIC, in 2023, 5 banks were seized. Okay, you might say that's a lot, but just hold on. During the Trump administration, 12 banks were seized. Okay, so that's 4 years, 12. During the Obama-Biden administration, 505 banks were seized by federal regulators. And that's from the FDIC. I got that data. I had to count everything.
That sounds serious.
What the heck caused that? We were talking about the what was that called? That crisis, that financial crisis we went through.
Enron? Oh,
no, Enron was
about
way
2000,
earlier.
2007, 2008?
Yeah. That was the
mortgage bailout, right?
It was?
Yeah, remember the mortgages and stuff?
I thought that Obama bailed out the big car makers.
Oh, well, that too,
they paid
I think,
it back
right?
or something like that.
I thought that, all
so
at the same time.
An event happened in 2008. We all know that. I just can't pull it out of myself right now. But 505 banks over 8 years?
That's
alarming.
It is. That's a crazy number. We were talking earlier. I would have never. Somebody'd asked me if I wanted to guess. I would have never thought that many banks would have failed in an 8-year period.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
So then I thought, well, how did Democrat tax and spend policies work out for those investors? And I'm just throwing it out there. I really haven't researched the causes for 505 banks going down. But there was a Democrat in charge, and Democrats are known for big business, tax and spend. How did it work out for those investors' investments that were lost and bank employees who lost their jobs?
And I don't know, did it say whether or not some of those banks were picked up by other banks?
It didn't say.
It didn't say. So maybe some of them were.
Well, that's usually what FDIC does, is they
try to arrange a bailout or
but the
takeover.
seizure is alarming. That many failures.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Crazy.
So some experts in finance say that this collapse may signal more collapses to occur this year, ranging from smaller community banks to larger banks. Joseph Linyak, a banking attorney at Dorsey and Whitney, offered 2 reasons for future seizures: higher cost deposits exceeding the yield on low-yield treasury securities, and similar investments held by banks.
Wait, that was too many big words. Let's go over that one more time. Way too many big words.
So we got
higher cost deposits. So
cost deposits.
So interest rates, right?
Right.
Exceeding the yield on the low yield treasury security. So treasury is down here at like 2 or 3 or 4%.
If that, yeah,
right.
And
similar investments that might be managed funds. It might be, I don't know, backing up a pension. Okay. All right. Okay.
And then, of course, you got the deteriorating commercial real estate market and commercial real estate loans.
Oh, yeah.
Which is...
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so...
Let's take a time out and talk about that.
So we were just talking about this skyscraper, high-rise in Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas, or Fort Worth. The highest skyscraper, tallest in Fort Worth.
Yeah, everything's big in Dallas, right?
Right.
everything's big in Texas, but
Right.
what is it? Senator Kennedy says it's big as Dallas. $12 million was it sold for?
At auction.
Auction.
What did they pay for it?
$1,200. What was it?
$12 per square foot.
$12 a square foot.
Cheap.
Yeah, that's
What did it originally sell for back when they bought it originally?
what, 10 times that amount?
Yeah,
120 million.
130
million.
almost 140.
Which I don't know. I
What?
mean, that is just that's a crazy loss.
So on first blush, you'd think that bank taking the hit would just belly up and close the doors, but it's that bank, Pinnacle, that bought the property in the auction.
Oh, they
Yeah.
bought it. They bought it.
So
back
that must
themselves.
mean they're going after, it was Opal Holdings or something like that, Opal. They're going after their big players, going after them to recover the default on the loan.
So, and this
And buying
building, you said
cheap.
it was 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago that this
Yeah,
sale
yeah.
original?
Yeah.
So there's been some depreciation on that.
There's some
The thing
smart guys at that bank.
that-
man.
yeah, they're,
And then what, in 10 years, turn it around and sell it for 138 or more?
I don't know. And I guess my question is why? You know, is it in a pit of an area in Dallas or Fort Worth? I don't know. You know, maybe
Are
it's not a really
people
good
going
looking.
to Dallas instead of Fort Worth.
I don't.
Well, how many? It said 1 million square feet,
Right.
which made it $12 per square foot, 12 million.
Yeah. So pretty good sized.
Yeah.
Pretty good sized structure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean that's a boggle your
Baffling.
mind kind of thing.
And you were talking about, well, we were talking about San Francisco and how people are fleeing for smash and grabs and the drug scene and, feces on the, and I've been there. I saw a woman squat down and just go pee.
Yeah. Speaking of pits, that area is depreciating,
cesspool,
right?
man.
I mean, it's
It's a
just really
cesspool.
terrible. There's no law enforcement up there. The people that are getting caught are getting released, no
Yeah.
bail.
Yeah.
You can steal up to what, $950
$900,
a
yeah.
day, and
Let's go
and
get
not
some medicine.
prosecuted. I mean, people are pushing carts out of buildings, and buildings are closing up. So, I don't know. Maybe this is happening there. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know that much about the Dallas-Fort Worth area, other than it's in Texas, and it's
But you were talking earlier also about converting it to residential.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Well,
some problems with that.
There are some people that are thinking that they may be able to take over some of these, or get a good deal on some of these buildings that
I
were
didn't even think of these
tenant
problems.
improvement buildings, office buildings, and turn them into
Apartments.
residences, condos,
Condos,
townhomes, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're realizing that the cost of that to do that is astronomical. Resizing water lines,
Sewer,
lines,
water, maybe gas,
maybe even
maybe.
structural. Maybe because you're going to be putting a bunch of stuff in something that
On the floor. Oh, yeah. You got to do the structural
above the
counts.
floor of
Yeah.
a drop
A
ceiling or
lot of
something like
people.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I'm not an engineer, so I don't know. But apparently there's been some issues where people think they're getting a great deal, and then they find out that the upgrades and the improvements that they're going to have to make are just not cost effective. So, but they made the deal,
Yeah.
and that's a sad thing. So, all right. So
Wasn't there a bank that just collapsed in
yeah,
San Jose?
Yeah, Silicon Valley, right? Silicon Valley Bank, yeah. First Republic and Signature Bank. Regional banks are starting to struggle to retain deposits because customers want the safety of larger competitor banks that are perceived as too big to fail. And who are we
Blame
talking
'em.
about? Maybe like Chase. I hate to throw Bank of
Wells
America.
Fargo.
Yeah, Wells Fargo.
Bank of America.
Yeah,
the big
and
boys.
I know Wells Fargo's had some struggles too, right?
First Foundation, Pinnacle was a big boy.
Yeah, those
I
are
think
big
First
names. So.
Foundation bought Pinnacle because we had stock in my investment club had stock in First Foundation. We dumped it because the price wasn't going up. It was just
Yeah, so I mean, I can understand that people want to do that. They're we're discussing things the opposite direction. I'm thinking more on a credit union basis. A local credit union or a
small guy. Yeah.
fairly
Pensions. Somebody's holding the pensions.
Yep.
Bank.
that I have more confidence in them than I do banks. You know, because I mean, a bank, you're just basically an account number, right?
Yeah,
Credit union,
totally.
You know,
totally.
credit union, there's a little bit more personal.
Yeah, USAA is different. You're definitely not a number at USAA. They treat you nice.
Yeah, and I got nothing against some of the bigger banks that we do business with, but it's just not as personable. You know, I mean, like we're talking as well. We had a small branch very close to our homes, and they closed it, and now we got to drive across town to bank. So
Yeah.
a little less convenient, but
Yeah.
you know,
In my business, I bank at that for my business.
right. And that word, banking is a business. You know, they're trying to make money for their stockholders as well, and they're investing, and so they got to do what they got to do. But I think it's a sign of the times.
So this guy Lignac, he says higher interest rates have diminished the value of their loan deals due to increased unrealized losses. That's being underwater, right? And lower commercial real estate values. $12 per square foot. Crazy.
That is unbelievable.
The FDIC has usually you rent a space for $12 or more, not buy the whole building.
Yeah.
The FDIC has indicated that banks in general have significant unrealized losses in their investment portfolios, which will ultimately require additional capital to address the unrecognized losses. So, like you're gonna have to get people that want to manage the bank to manage their money, you know, investments, whatever. So that's what they're talking about, to get more business, or more car loans or whatever. You know, that's how banks make money on interest.
So yeah, I may be a little backwoods here, but I look at it as a bank as somebody that just is holding my money. It's safe. It's better. It's safer there than it is in my mattress.
Theoretically.
And I'm going to a financial advisor for investments.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. So if they're going to try to, cut into that business, I mean, I don't know if that would be attractive to me, but I'm sure there are other people out that are out there. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, all right, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll keep an eye on the banks to see what's going on. But 505 during Obama.
Yeah, I would have never.
If you guys have some input on that, if you're real estate agents or bankers, let us know. We want some insights on that.
Yeah, and do these kind of things happen, in bunches? I mean, is there all of a sudden there's a run on the banks?
In threes.
Yeah. Just watch your money. Be careful with your money because it's hard to come by these days, right? I was talking to my mechanic the other day, and he was telling me that his business is kind of slowed a little bit because people are broke. Because they don't have money to invest in
disposable income, because groceries are higher, gas is higher,
everything's higher.
Interest rates are higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Biden is like, well, we've turned it around, and that's just some people are good. Michigan, they're saying they're doing great. What? Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
It's all across the nation, man.
Yeah. Everybody's eggs are up. Everybody's milk is up. Everybody's bread is up.
Yeah.
Everybody's beef is crazy. If you eat beef or chicken, it's just crazy the amount of money that we're spending for that now.
And eggs too, and milk.
Yeah, dairy products. I love milk.
My buddy Pinball my Army buddy Pinball would say that if you're fortunate enough to get on, I guess I'm putting words in his mouth. If you're fortunate enough to get out of debt, that's part of preparedness. Get out of debt, and you start saving up, then the hits aren't as pronounced or hard against you. There's still hits. They're still taking your money away, but. Just imagine if you were, had $100,000 student loan, $100,000, and credit cards up to $35,000. I mean, you'd be feeling the pain because you don't have disposable income. You're paying interest to someone else. We had that show, the eighth wonder of the world, interest.
Right.
All right. Well, you got me on my soapbox.
It can take you down.
All right. Give us comments. We want them.
Yep.
Thanks for joining, and we'll see you.
You guys have a great day. Thank you.